So our next step is audience, purpose, topic, and thesis. And that seems like a whole lot. The problem is, and this is one of the challenges of teaching writing, is that there are many decisions that have to be made before you actually can start writing the essay. And you don't really ever decide on them in the same order for every assignment. I may come in to this assignment, let's say volunteering. I've been assigned that, and maybe I have no idea what I want to do, but you know what? I know that I want to help children, right? Maybe I have a real calling to help kids and give them things that they need that nobody else is providing, right? So I kind of have a purpose. I want to help kids, right? Now that wouldn't be my audience because kids are not going to be able to read a college level essay. So then I have to think, okay, if I want to help kids, then who could I send this information out to, right? Why would I want to tell this to other people? And that's kind of where the weird part of composition is, because you're not choosing to write this yourself. I'm making you write it. It's kind of like, well, who would want to know this, right? Well, you kind of have to figure that out, because if you really do need to write something, you have to be able to determine, how can I share this with a group? Who needs to hear this, right? So, until you know what you want to share with these kids, what you want to volunteer in, audience is maybe the thing that's not going to come until after you figure that out, because that's going to help you direct, your ideas to a certain group, right? So now maybe you're going to go, okay, well, what topic, what are the things that I want to do, right? So for me, I actually am very good at computers. And so maybe I can, like I shared in one of the handouts, my local public library did a call for people to help with computer skills, right? Unfortunately, the time they needed help, I'm teaching, and so I couldn't volunteer. But that got me thinking about, well, I wonder what other groups that I could maybe help with computers. It's not with the library, right? And so the big one for me, I live in Prague, is of course there's the high school and the middle school. And I'm thinking, I wonder if there are any after school opportunities that I could set up, maybe talk to the principal or maybe the English teacher or something like that, and say, listen, I would love to be able to talk to seniors and juniors about getting ready for college writing, or the kind of skills they need to be able to handle college. Because unfortunately, sometimes what you learn in a computer class doesn't really translate practically to what you're usually using computers for, right? So maybe I could do a tutorial. Maybe I could meet at the rec center there, and what's the cafeteria, right? For those in Prague knows what I mean. Maybe I could get them to do something and invite students to come and listen, right? That helps me then decide. So by understanding who I wanted to talk to, I'd like to help high school kids. What could I give high school kids? What could I volunteer that would help them? Right? Well, that leads me to think about the kind of things they'll need to get ready for college. And then that led me to figuring out who my audience is. Who could I write about this to? Right? For this essay, though, I would even say that your audience doesn't have to be a specific group of people other than people that you want to encourage to volunteer. And so maybe you're talking about what you can volunteer, but your purpose is just to encourage everyone to kind of be reflective and figure out what they have to share, and that they should do it, right? Kind of like Mark Bezos's video is. He talks about what he does, volunteer firefighting, but he's not only talking to people who could be volunteer firefighters. He's basically saying, here's what I did and why it's great, why it's really been a blessing, why it's worth the time, right? And you all should find that thing for you as well, right? So again, for this, it could be that. So again, audience, purpose, and topic are usually going to come first, and then from that you find your thesis. But not always. Sometimes you might have kind of a working thesis in mind. Say, okay, I know what I want to do. I know my thesis is kind of be like, for me, volunteering would be great if I could find a place to share my love of reading, right? If I know that's kind of my working thesis, then I can go back and figure, okay, so what is my purpose in saying this? Can I refine my topic any more than that? Who could I write this to? So it's kind of a juggling act, right? Some things will come before others. Some things will be assigned to you by the teacher. You just have to, you know, address the issue as it's given to you in class. So you can see here, I've given you some things to consider in terms of audience, purpose. I do add context to purpose because I think that sometimes the context helps you with purpose. Context also can help you with audience and topic as well. Context are just anything that must be added to your situation, right? So let's say that well, one thing I'm giving you is volunteering. You're not just getting to write about anything you want. Part of the context of this essay is to write about volunteering. Sometimes you might be given a specific audience, right? So maybe your teacher wants you just to write to other people in your own peer group, right? Maybe they want you to write to senior citizens, right? So there's a context. Maybe they only want you to write to people in Oklahoma. That's a type of context. So again, context is really important. Sometimes it's given to you, but sometimes it can help you narrow down your scope because again, you only have a certain amount of time. And contexts are things that allow us to start limiting the topics and ideas so that we can handle them sufficiently in whatever amount of space we're given, right? And again, section 2A in your Keys for Writers gives you some tips for finding topics.